Let's be honest for a second. Just because you miss someone doesn't mean they're right for you. And I know that's uncomfortable to hear because missing them feels real. It feels emotional. It feels like something you should listen to. But missing someone and being aligned with them are not the same thing. Because if you've ever caught yourself thinking, I know it wasn't right, but I still miss them. I don't understand why I feel this way. Maybe I made a mistake. You're not alone, but you are misreading what that feeling actually is. Because what you're calling missing them is often something very different. If you're new here, hi, I'm Cherry. I'm a spiritual life coach, numerologist, and energy alchemist. And this month we're working with Energy 8, the Pranic body, the part of you responsible for your life force, your emotional energy, your attachment patterns, and how your system generates and circulates energy. So when you feel that pull, we're not just looking at the person, we're looking at the energy your body is used to. Because if you don't understand this, you'll keep going back, not because it's right, but because it feels familiar. Before we go any deeper, if this is already landing for you, hit subscribe and tap the notification bell, because this is where you stop confusing emotion with truth and start understanding what your body is actually doing. So let's get really honest about this feeling, because when you say you miss them, it feels like it's about the person. But most of the time, it's not. What you're actually missing is how they made you feel, how you felt in that dynamic, the emotional highs, the intensity, the moments of connection, not necessarily the reality of the relationship. So from an Energy 8 perspective, every interaction leaves an energetic imprint in your system. Your pranic body stores emotional experiences, sensations, patterns of connection, how your energy moved in that space. So when something ends or the person leaves, that imprint stays. So when the feeling comes up, you're not missing them. You're re-experiencing the energy your body got used to. And this is why it feels so convincing. Because your body doesn't say, is this an old pattern? It says, this is familiar. Go back to it. I'm going to say this with you, not at you. You're not craving them. You're craving the state you experienced with them. Because if you separate the two, there's a difference between how it actually was and how it felt in certain moments. And your system will always highlight the feeling, not the full reality. Your mind pulls forward the connection, the attention, the intensity, but it filters out the inconsistency, the confusion, the emotional cost. And every time you replay those feelings, you reactivate the imprint, which makes it feel present again, which makes the pull stronger. So let's correct this properly. Missing them does not mean they were right for you. Missing them doesn't mean you should go back. Missing them doesn't mean you made the wrong decision. It means your body is responding to a familiar energy pattern. And this is where it goes deeper. Because once you understand that, you have to look at why your system still wants that feeling. So if you're not actually missing them, why does it still feel so strong? Because your system doesn't just remember that feeling. It's still trying to recreate it. And before you judge yourself for that, let's make this clear. This isn't you being weak. This is your body trying to regulate in a way it recognizes. Because that dynamic, whatever it was, gave your system something. It gave you stimulation, intensity, emotional engagement, a sense of aliveness, even if it also came with confusion, inconsistency, or pain. So from an Energy 8 perspective, your pranic body learns how to generate energy through experience. So if your system learned intensity equals connection, inconsistency equals engagement, emotional highs and lows equals aliveness, then that becomes your baseline, which is why when something is calm, stable, constant, you don't always feel safe. You feel bored, disconnected, unsure, like something is missing. And I'm going to say this honestly. If you only feel connected when there's intensity, that's not connection. That's conditioning. And for a lot of you, you've been the person who holds the emotional weight, overgives to maintain connection, stays through inconsistency, tries to make things work. So that dynamic doesn't just feel familiar. It feels like who you are in relationships. There's also a level of control in this because familiar patterns are predictable. You know how it plays out, how you respond, what role you take. But healthy dynamics, they require you to show up without performing. And that can feel unfamiliar. So when you feel that pull, it's not because that person is right for you. It's because your system is trying to return to a state it knows how to function in. And this is the shift. You're not missing them. You're missing a familiar way of feeling. And once you see that, you don't need to follow it. But you do need to learn how to stay with yourself. But you do need to learn how to stay with yourself instead. So now you understand what this feeling actually is. You can see it's not really about them. You can recognize it's your body responding to a familiar pattern. But here's the truth. That doesn't stop the feeling from showing up. Because when it hits your body, it doesn't feel like a pattern. It feels like urgency, emotion, a need to act. And that's the moment you usually lose yourself. So what you need isn't more clarity. You need the capacity to stay without acting. We're not trying to get rid of the feeling. We're teaching your system, I can feel this without going back. So let's bring this into your body now. Sit comfortably, drop your shoulders, place one hand on your chest and one hand on your lower belly. Inhale slowly through your nose for the count of 4. 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4. 2, 3, 4. And exhale for 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. Inhale, 4. 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4. 2, 3, 4. And exhale for 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now gently bring to mind that person or that moment you keep going back to. Notice what happens in your body. The pull, the tightness, the urge to reach out, the thoughts start to build. That sensation, that's the moment you usually react. But this time, you're not moving. You're not texting. You're not chasing relief. You're staying and you're breathing through it. Because what you're feeling right now is not a sign to go back. It's activation. It's your system recognizing something familiar and trying to return to it. And as you breathe, I want you to say internally, this is uncomfortable, but it's safe. I don't need to act on this. I can stay with myself. Let your body hear that. Stay with your breath. Inhale, hold, exhale. Longer than you inhale. And notice, even if it's subtle, the intensity starts to shift. That's capacity. This is the moment most people avoid because it's easier to go back than it is to sit with this feeling. Because every time you go back, you strengthen the pattern. Every time you stay, you weaken it. What you just did is how you stop confusing missing someone with needing them. The version of you who is no longer stuck in this isn't someone who never feels the pull. There's someone who feels it, recognizes it, and doesn't follow it. And when you start doing that consistently, you stop needing the feeling to be resolved externally because you can hold it yourself. So now that you've felt it, you've seen the difference between missing someone and being pulled by a familiar feeling. This is where it becomes real because the feeling will come back. You're going to have moments where you think about them. You feel that pull. Your mind starts creating stories again. That doesn't mean you're going backwards. That means your system is still unlearning the pattern. So this week, I don't want you to overcomplicate this. Just notice when the feeling comes up, when your mind attaches meaning to it, when you feel the urge to act, and instead of reacting, pause, breathe, and ask yourself, do I actually miss them? Or do I miss how I felt? That question alone will change how you respond. Because once you separate the person from the feeling, you stop giving the feeling a direction. You stop turning it into a message, a sign, a reason to go back, and you start seeing it for what it is. A familiar emotional state moving through your body. With Energy 8, every time you don't act on that feeling, you reclaim energy. Energy that was being used to replay the past, chase something that wasn't aligned, stay connected to a pattern. That energy doesn't disappear. It comes back into your system. And that's when things shift. You feel clearer, more grounded, less reactive, more in control of your choices. Not because the feeling stopped, but because you stopped following it. The version of you who breaks this pattern isn't someone who never misses anyone. They're someone who understands what they're feeling, doesn't confuse emotion with truth, and trusts themselves not to go back. And if you keep doing this, you won't feel the same pull. Not because you forced yourself to move on, but because your body no longer needs that pattern to regulate. And as we come to the end of this video, I'd like to leave you with one final thought. Understanding energy is powerful. Understanding your own energy is transformational. If you've enjoyed today's video and you'd like to continue exploring spirituality, numerology, the 10 energy bodies, and practical tools to help you heal, grow, and step into your authentic power, then I'd love for you to hit subscribe and tap that notification bell. That way you'll never miss the next video as we continue this journey together. That's why I love numerology so much. It gives you the personalized roadmap that helps you understand who you are, why certain patterns keep repeating, and what your soul is inviting you to learn in this lifetime. If you're just beginning your numerology journey, make sure you download my free Numerology Quick Guide using the link in the description box below. It's the perfect place to start discovering the wisdom hidden within your birth date. And when you're ready to uncover the deeper story behind your numbers, I'd love to create your personalized numerology report, where I personally decode your energetic blueprint and show you how to work with your energy instead of constantly working against it. Again, the link for that is in the description box below. Before you leave, I'd love to hear from you. What was your biggest insight or breakthrough from today's video? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, your energy isn't random. Your life isn't random. And your numbers are not random either. They're part of the blueprint your soul chose before you were born. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Until next time, keep honoring your energy. Keep trusting your intuition. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.